Hey, what's going on, you guys? So we've got a special guest here today, Colleen Wallace. I wanted to bring her in and ask her a few questions because I truly think she's made probably the most amazing transformation I've seen out of any of our members here at TH Fitness. So I wanted to just kind of hear her story and her experience with us so far, and maybe we can inspire some of you guys to want to make a change in your life as well. So we'll start out, just tell us a little bit about yourself, Colleen, and then we'll get into the questions.
Okay, Colleen Wallace. I'm a single mom of two amazing girls, 50 years old. I turned 50 in October, and have a full-time job, a farm, raise my kids, travel all over the country showing animals, doing all of that stuff, and absolutely love my gym life.
Cool. So before you joined here, what did life look like for you? What was it kind of day-to-day basis? How did you feel, things like that?
So really stressed. I have a really great job. I'm a 4-H program coordinator. I love working with kids. Got hit with COVID, and I wasn't allowed to work with kids, couldn't be face-to-face. Extremely stressed, just anxious, sad, lots of anxiety as to what's going to happen, how's this going to work, trying to raise two kids through all of that. Things were not normal. With that, just no energy, didn't really enjoy anything, tried to just go through day-to-day motions, hadn't really done anything for myself in a very, very long time, and so that was kind of life before I started this.
And how would you say you took your health, like on a scale from 1 to 10, how was your health before here?
It was bottom of the list. Wasn't even a consideration. It was just the struggle of just doing day to day was everything you had, and didn't realize how important taking care of myself was in being able to do day to day. So just did everything else but put yourself as a bottom priority. Ate a ton of McDonald's, I would drink unsweetened iced tea from McDonald's constantly. Just did not care. It kind of used it almost as a stress reliever, kind of eat your feelings, all of that stuff. So nutrition was not even considered.
No.
Yeah.
And you didn't even know it really was a problem either. You just, that was your normal life. Right?
You're busy.
Yeah.
So, how many of us, when we're running kids to games and we're running kids to work and we're running kids everywhere, well, it's just really super easy to run through and get fast food or stop at Subway or do something like that, and you're feeding everybody, you know, and even what you put in the house is fast and convenient, and it's okay, so there's some pizza rolls, or, there's something of that nature, because there's just not time, you don't make the time to do it right.
Yep, exactly. So what was your first impression of the gym? Like, how did you feel beforehand? And then after you finally came in, what was your first impression and how did you feel?
So I've never been a gym person. I think we had a membership at the Y when we were down, when my kids were down there. I started bringing my daughter Riley back in June of last year. She started doing high school fit camp, and I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of intimidating, and it wasn't for me because I didn't think that this was what I could do. And then I saw the difference it was making in her. So with that, I was like, okay. So at one point I talked with Jamie Frizzle, and she's like, hey, I'll go to beginner strength. And I was like, she's like, you should join, because I was thinking about joining, and I was like, I really need to do something, because at that point I recognized I needed to do something. I was a month away from turning 50 years old, and I didn't want to be that anymore. So I was like, okay, and Jamie's like, I'll go to beginner strength with you. And so I was like, okay. So we came to beginner strength, and it was hard, and I was way too sedentary. I was way too out of shape. I mean, everything winded me, but I made it through. It was a great class. It was fabulous encouragement out of everybody. And I was like, okay, this is pretty good. And then my goal was to be able to get into fit camp. But fit camp scared the hell out of me, because I was just like, there's no way at my age, at my weight, my condition, I'm going to be able to ever be able to do that, ever. And Jamie just kept saying, you will, it'll get there, it'll take a while. So it took me 3 weeks, but I did.
Awesome. When was it that you first started noticing a big difference, like in your health, your energy, your body?
So I signed up for, I started, so the very first day, so with my job, I love my job, I take my job very seriously, I'm a very 110% person. When we received the news that we were suspended from doing face-to-face programming until September 1st, I was sitting in the TSC parking lot in Fort Gresham crying, because it just devastated me. When at my very first beginner strength class, I came out, finished the class and walked out, and I had a text message telling me I'm suspended indefinitely. And any other time, that would have been the end for me. And I actually, because of the endorphins, everything else from that class, and just the reality is that it was something I couldn't change, and I just kind of went, okay. And I looked at that, and I kind of examined that and went, I need more of that, to just be able to have that mental clarity, or that stress relief already in place, to just go, okay, I can deal with this, and it's not going to be that bad, and I can just move on. After that, honestly, the physical changes for me started kind of quickly. I lost like 17 pounds that first month, but I mean, I was working pretty hard. I mean, it didn't come easy. There wasn't a pill. I worked pretty hard to do that. And I started dropping body fat, and that's always my biggest goal, is to get my body fat lower. I don't really care what the scale sometimes can make you feel bad, but the body fat is, like, to me, one of the biggest things, and then just the ability to do things I hadn't done before. I always set those as benchmarks.
Yeah. And people don't realize how big of a stress reliever working out is. You know, it releases the good endorphins, the same endorphins that you get from, you know, drinking alcohol, things like that, that people use to try to relieve their stress. You get the same hit of endorphins, you know, that dopamine, the feel-good hormones when you do a workout. So that's probably what really helps a lot of people just overcome that. So that's really cool that you mentioned that. You kind of already mentioned this. Your first big win was probably like that first month, dropping that 17 pounds, feeling better, have more energy, less stress, right?
Yes.
What things did you change in your life and your lifestyle to get where you are now, as far as maybe your daily routine, your nutrition, things like that? How have those changes made a big difference in your health?
So tracking my food, that's huge. That made all the difference in the world, to actually see what you eat and to set yourself with, okay, you need to eat so much of this and so much of that. That has made a huge difference. Everything has changed. There's nothing that hasn't changed. We food prep, we buy differently. There's not the garbage in our house. You can't, you know, my oldest daughter isn't prone to wanting to work out. Her friends will come over and be like, is there ever normal food in your house? Because there's no chips. You can have a rice cake, but you aren't getting chips in our house anymore. And all of that used to be, the pantry was always full of cookies and chips and pop, and it's not. You can drink water or you can drink milk. Like, so we've made huge changes in all of that. Also just, honestly, just committing to it. Just committing to it, I tell people all the time, I learned to embrace the suck. So there is not every time that I have had, that I walk in here and look at the board and go, well, I can't wait to do those. I've changed my mindset to say I can't wait to do those. I challenge myself on the stuff that I hate. But I've learned that the worse it hurts in here, 20 minutes later, the better the high, which it's kind of like you just said, it's a high. And I've become very addicted to that, and it doesn't come with a hangover, and it doesn't come with all of those other repercussions. It just is this really good feeling, and you feel really good about yourself, and it empowers you. And I think, especially as a woman, it's super important to be empowered. You know, this is a little off, but I thought about it when I was in high school, even playing sports. We didn't go to the weight room. Girls didn't go to the weight room. That was only for the guys. That was for football players. We didn't lift weights, and I think that's a huge disservice, because we can watch it every day. Somebody picks up does a deadlift for the first time and watch their face.
Yeah.
And to just know that you have that strength within you, that just makes your whole life better. Because if you can do that, how many other things can you go home and tackle? So,
exactly.
yeah.
Yep. And I love that you said that you try to embrace the hard workouts. And I truly think, seeing from all of our clients and the workouts that I do personally, usually the workouts that you're not looking forward to, that are gonna, they're gonna suck, you feel the best afterward. Once you actually accomplish that and get through it, you feel amazing when you're done. So I love that you said that. But yeah, totally agree with everything that you said. We've seen so many clients for the first time. The deadlift's a perfect example. They don't think they can do something, and you tell them they can, and then they do it, and their face just lights up, and they feel so accomplished, and it's awesome. So, how big of a role have your coaches and other members played in your success so far? So you joined, you got some coaching, you started doing fit camps and beginner strength. We kind of worked with your nutrition and your workouts. How has that played a role in your success?
It's everything about my success. The reality is if I had come in here on my own and I hadn't done this, as much as I enjoyed that first workout, as much as I could feel that, if I didn't feel like there was a sense of accountability, because at that point Jamie was coming to that class only because I was there, I wouldn't have come. Like I would have wrote myself excuses, and I wouldn't have dipped out and been like, nah, well I don't have to go today, I don't have to do that. Then once I did the 6-week challenge, you as my coach, that just made all the difference, because I didn't want to disappoint you. So it becomes a whole different thing when somebody's there encouraging you, giving you all the stuff that you need for you to succeed, and now all it is up to you. Yeah, if you don't have somebody holding you accountable, then sometimes we don't really care if we disappoint ourselves. It gets a little, I don't now, but in that other mindset, it would be like, okay, well, I can just, so what if I don't go? I'm the only one who knows. When you know that there's somebody else looking for you to put in the work, and they gave you all the tools, then you just got to do it. And it literally becomes, they say it takes 21 days to change a habit. This is literally just a habit change. This has become where I don't want to disappoint myself, nor do I want to disappoint others, but I've learned to prioritize myself to get it done. So, yeah.
Yep. And even us coaches, like myself, we're not born athletes and fitness coaches. Like, we developed these, and we learned the habits that led us to where we are. So even we need accountability. I have a workout program that I follow and pay for because I need that accountability myself. So we're not all perfect, we're not all motivated all the time. We still need accountability too. So I just wanted to point that out. What are some of your favorite workouts and lifts since starting?
Okay. So I love fit camp. My favorites are always the lifts, and I like the challenges of different ones.
The barbells?
Yes, I love barbells. I love picking up weights. I love the accessories. What I've learned to embrace is the Metcons, because I'm good with a lot of it, especially if it's a strength thing. But if it's an endurance, if it's the bike, but I'm getting better, and the rower, and I'm getting better, and those pieces are. I like all of it, and I love the challenges of all of it. Some of it I just can do like it comes a little easier, so you enjoy it. And then there's others that you enjoy because it's freaking hard and you don't want to do it, and you just are like, but if you just pay attention, you see where you're making progress. And those I think are always the most important gains, because if you couldn't get through 30 seconds of biking and now you can do it for a minute, you're like, look, I'm making progress. The wall ball doesn't hit me in the face and I can do it. That's huge, So, yeah.
And for those of you guys that don't know, the Metcon is our metabolic conditioning. It's basically like our cardio portion of fit camp. Usually what people look the least forward to, but those are those workouts that you're just putting in the hard work. You're getting that heart rate up, you're getting the blood flowing, and then people usually feel absolutely amazing after the Metcon. After that's done, everybody is happy, smiling, laughing.
Well, you lay on the floor for a few minutes.
Yeah, you lay on the floor for a couple minutes first and catch your breath, and then you're ready to go for the day. What exercise or activities did you never think that you could do that you can do now?
Oh, so I have a fused ankle from a horseback riding accident that happened 10 years ago. I almost lost my leg. I have not been able to, I haven't run since I did that. I wasn't a big runner beforehand, didn't really see the point, but my youngest daughter, this is the first she ever remembers me running. It's because I can run now. I can jump rope. I can do box jumps. When I first started, I could only step up on the 6-inch box, and that was even awkward. I now can actually jump up on the box. It's still the shorter box, but I can do the step ups onto the big box with no issues. Like I said, being able to jump rope, when we first started, I would have to jump rope on the foot.
1 foot, I remember that. I was gonna say,
yeah, because I couldn't
She would do it though. She was over there in 1 foot.
Yep,
it was
but
awesome.
Yeah, so now running, yesterday I went and ran a mile. That's terrible. I wasn't being chased by a bear, but I did do it. And yeah, so those are huge. Huge.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
And so far to date, how many pounds are you down, and what percentage of body fat have you dropped?
I am down 60 pounds, and I've dropped 12% body fat.
It's fantastic. It's awesome. It's incredible. And how long has it been? You started in October?
Mm-hmm. I started September 11th. So what are we at? Like 7 months?
A little over 7 months probably?
Headed into 8 months. Yep.
So 60 pounds in about 7 months. Absolutely phenomenal. What accomplishment are you most proud of so far? Probably a tough question.
It is. There's what I'm most proud of so far, in all honesty, there's all of the physical things, there's all the mental things, there's all of those really great things I got out of being obese. So I'm no longer in the obese category. I got all of that done. And but probably the thing I'm most proud of is I haven't quit myself, and I never will.
Yeah.
This has taught me, I've been able to change my mindset, change my energy from negative to positive. I look for positive things, and I've learned to celebrate the smallest stuff and forgive myself for all the other stuff. And so that's the whole mental change in doing this has been absolutely amazing.
Yeah. The physical changes are great, but like how you feel about yourself and your day-to-day happiness is what really counts, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Awesome. And then just a couple more questions. If you were to give somebody advice, who may be struggling with their health or with their weight, whatever it may be, maybe just stress or anything, what would you say to them to help get them started?
You're worth it. That's the biggest thing is I think, especially as a mom, you think that you're too old, you got too many other things, there's too many other people pulling on your time, there's all this other stuff that you have to do, you don't have time to do this, you don't have time to not do this. It doesn't matter if you can slip in here for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or stay all day, you're worth this. And if you take this time, you will be so much better for everyone else in your life. So my kids will tell you, I don't yell. I'm not angry. I'm far more understanding. I'm not stressed. I'm way easier to deal with. I'm a better person for them now. I'm a better person to have as an employee because I'm not stressing out about the stuff that comes down and I can roll with it. I'm a better person with everything because that positive energy and the positive feeling you feel about yourself emits out, and then you're able to go out and be a positive influence on others. So therefore, you're just a better person. And so you're worth that. Like, you're worth that to make that investment in yourself, invest that time, invest those. You have to fill your own cup before you can fill anyone else's. And this truly is a great way to fill your cup.
On an airplane, you gotta put a mask on yourself before anybody else. You have to take care of yourself first so that you can take care of others. So I love that you said that. So many people get caught up thinking that they need to only worry about their family and their friends and not give themselves any attention or time. And you're not doing anybody any favors, because if you take care of yourself and you can function better and live happier, have more energy, all that kind of stuff, you will be able to impact everybody else's life, make more time and energy for them. You'll actually improve their quality of life by improving your quality of life. So I love that you said that. And we'll wrap this up with, what's your next goal? What is the next accomplishment that you want to reach?
I want, from a statistical standpoint or from a number standpoint, I'm 0.8% body fat for being underneath 30. So I want under 30. I don't really care about the scale anymore. We have goals to continue to lose weight, but I want to do well in the Murph. So that's kind of where I'm working towards. And I just want to continue to do this to the best of my ability and honestly help anybody else reach the same things. You know, it's amazing to be here and kind of be in the tribe that I'm in with the women who are working towards this. Like, we work together and we inspire one another and we support one another and we encourage one another, and it's all positive, and it's really good to surround yourself with that, and it makes all the difference in the world. So my goal is to just keep doing what I'm doing. I love the results because every day they're different. So.
Yeah, it's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing all of that. And she mentioned a couple times Jamie, which is her friend. They both have made an incredible transformation over the last 7 months. And I tell a lot of our coaches and people around me, the two happiest people I know are Colleen and Jamie. And you know, they didn't start out like that, but just over the last 7 months watching them transform, they're literally the happiest people I know. When they walk into the gym, they have the biggest smile on their face. They're like, hey, how you doing? You know, so it's just, it kind of lights you up. It makes you feel better. So seeing them is very, very cool every day, and I can't wait to see how much more progress they can make. And just to kind of end this, if you are somewhere in your life where you want to make a difference and improve your health and make the time for yourself to, you know, just get healthier, feel better, have more energy, stuff like that, don't hesitate. Just reach out. We're a big family here. She mentioned, you know, everybody is supportive. You know, it's not intimidating. It doesn't have to be. Just make the call, walk in, text us, whatever you have to do to get started, and we're going to get you started and on your path to a better life. So I think that wraps it up. Have a great day, you guys. Stay healthy, and hopefully we'll see you guys soon.